Hi everyone, welcome to the Ranked podcast. Today I have a very special guest. Emre here is a friend of mine who I recently met on Reddit after reading an incredible story on actually a flip story, but he didn't purchase a site how most people do it. He started a site from zero, and in only 6 months he grew it. So from zero to a very high number. He actually flipped it in only 6 months for 105,000 euros, around $115,000. And here is the story. So welcome, Emre. Let's hear a little bit more about it.
Hello. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, awesome. Let's get started. First off, how did you get the idea for this crazy site? Did you imagine that it was going to be as big as it got?
Well, definitely. I was always thinking that I could make something very big if I could have the budget, first of all, because I've been working in this industry for three and a half years, maybe 4 years. And I was always saying like I could do this website, I could do better website. But I was always working for some different people, and they had like a massive team. That's why I couldn't estimate very well if I could be successful or not. And when I had the opportunity somehow, with my partner, we decided like actually we could invest some in a website. Then all of these 3, 4 years ideas of mine just came to my mind, and okay, let's do like this, do like this. And I had, of course, very good knowledge about the competitors because I've been like following this industry and these websites for 3 years, 4 years, as I said. And when we started, I was okay. We have a chance. We have a better chance because like I'm following it up. I know what I'm doing. And right now I have a little bit of investments, which is actually not so much for a website considering what we're investing right now. But yeah, I was expecting something,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest.
How
Yeah.
did you first get into the actual industry, in digital marketing industry?
Yeah, so I started back in 2016, I guess. I came to Riga as a student, and I'm from Turkey, by the way. And I was looking for jobs, and I've got a job as a kind of content manager, data entry operator, and so on, which leads me to here actually. And they have been showing me the basics of SEO, how do websites work, what is WordPress, and so on. And from then, I started to work for some. After a year, I think I started work for another company as a marketing manager, where I also get involved with some kind of emails and other content, like rather than affiliate content, actually like contents for products that I've been producing myself. And after that, I also got some opportunities to be a project manager in some affiliate websites. I was like managing them, the content and the strategies, what we should follow and what we should do. So that's the story actually. I was a student back then 4 years ago who came to Riga without any experience. So I didn't study actually marketing, but I've studied foreign languages, and that was I think a kind of key point as well, because the website we sold was in 3 different languages: English, Spanish, and German. And I learned German in university, which was nice, to use it in the website. Besides that, to answer your question, so that was the old story about just to in Riga as a student in a company where you get like a sort of low salary as you have started, But I really love the industry, so this is the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
Riga.
And when you started the job, so when was the first site? Which one was the first site? I'm guessing this huge flip story wasn't the first one.
You mean in terms of the industry?
Like your first site in the industry on your own.
Yeah, this is it. This is it actually on my own. Like, of course, I have created some blogs to just do A/B testing, just myself without any teams, just to check it out, which actually ranking pretty well. So I was just writing about my student stories and just like seeing by making articles, for example, best restaurants in Riga, best burger shops in Riga, and so on. And I was seeing that they are actually ranking, but I cannot say that it was my first website because I did nothing, literally. I just launched it and just put 3, 4 pages of content and just let it stay there. So in terms of like professionalism, this is actually my first website that I sold for 105,000 euro.
Crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So how did you get the idea, not maybe only for the niche, but that you wanted to do something more? What really inspired you other than looking at everyone else at the company doing amazing things? What inspired you for this huge site?
Well, first of all, I had a concept in my mind for all the time, because if you are working for the same industry for 4 years, you notice that it's kind of repetitive, and everyone is copying, pasting the other website and just like adding some additional information on the other website's content, right? And you start to see actually what you can do differently. So this is what was in my head actually, to be more honest, to be more different than the other websites, and just somehow I knew how to stand out, from the competition, because it was a very competitive niche. Also, it is still.
So essentially, to provide better and more honest information than anyone else on the market.
Exactly, definitely. In a different language as well. We have been using kind of, I told you in the beginning, we had a concept and we had of course, like teams, but my writers that who've been writing for us, we didn't write it as we are a company, to be honest. We wrote it as it's our honest review, and it was actually. Our writers were literally reviewing the product and just like sharing their own thoughts. And the language was, for example, I did this and I reviewed this, and I think this kind of, also it was more closer to the people, instead of using V and V and V, which is, I think people start to notice that actually the websites are getting paid by the advertisers. And when I check reviews, when I want to buy a product, I don't see any negative comments on the review. And I think this was the key point for us, where we started to notice and underline the bad points of the product. And we honestly wrote like, this is bad, we didn't like it. And the advertisers were like, guys, can you just remove it? But this is it. This is the honesty. So I think as long as you provide honest information and a different information, what is already existing in the Google, you have more chance to be successful.
And did you have just a single writer, or did you have multiple writers writing for you? Because a common problem, I feel like, when you have such a big site, is that you have multiple writers. Actually, you have two parts of the problem. One problem is that either things start getting really repetitive. The other problem is that one writer has a totally different style than the others. Did you experience any problem like that?
Definitely. So the writer we have is an amazing person. We are still working with him, and he has a very unique style of writing as well. So which I believe he also played a tremendous role to make the site successful. But for the mainstream articles, for the in other terms, the money articles, right? It's been written by only one writer, because that you link from article to article. He knows like what kind of keywords he can internally link to. But we had like some news articles as well. This type of more promotional, low word count articles have been written by some other writers. But actually, the website had one main writer who is writing about the ultimate guide, for example, or I don't know, the pillar content, and the rest of small articles have been written by other writers. So I could say that it's actually been written by maximum 2 or 3 writers, but we've been working together for a long time to just go back in my background. In summer, we start to produce some content, and that's how actually the idea of creating a website came to my mind. I was like, okay, right now we have a team of writers that I know who are my friends. As I studied foreign languages, I had this opportunity to reach out to people who can write very good content. Because if you study a foreign language, the only thing you do in university is learning it and writing essays. So you become master in writing essays. And I had a very good network of friends of mine who I could use for this type of work. That's why we knew our writing style. And okay, the writer who was the main writer, just came from outside. We found him on through freelancing websites, but in general, the team got very long each other. We weren't just like, so I was working for a freelancer, yeah. Most of the time, it is like you're sending a task, receive a task, delivering a task. But for us, it was more like a friendship. We were making calls, writing, sharing ideas, making fun, talking about life in general. So we had this kind of, we are all friends, even though you are new in the
because you
company.
had that common goal. Yeah, you wanted to succeed, and you all wanted to make this site something special. Yeah, and I really like how you mentioned. I really like how you mentioned that you like for using not for using students to help you write content, because at the end of the day, especially like if you just go into some university, for example, English university, and especially if you want to get a really good rate. What you can do, and what a very good tip is, because students are generally working for very low wages, and what you can do is you can offer a very good wage for them. They will write exceptional content, and for them the money that they receive is exceptional, but you'll still be getting a very affordable writer, and just a way to extend the budget and to make it go further. So in my opinion, that's an excellent tip. One more question that I had was in terms of the content plan, because I read a lot of case studies and how we actually do our sites. We always come with the content plan first. So we do all kind of keyword research, and then we just create a silo, and then we go 1, 2, 3, just check it off and interlink on the while we're building everything.
Definitely. First of all, I have chosen the pillar contents, right? The pillar pages, where we're going to build the website. 5 pages, the main pages. And after that, we start to go more in detail where we can do the internal linking, of course, by using some tools. But yeah, I had a monthly content plan, and each month I have renewed it, and I send to the writers daily, and then we receive the article back and edit it.
Yeah. And did you have like a consistent number of articles posted, or did you post all of them in the first 3 months and then you just waited?
No, I don't do something like that, because like it's also time, because getting the article ready it requires a time, yeah, and we don't have so much time that, because if you want to get the articles written by only a few numbers of writers, that will take time. And for example, we were getting, I think, hundreds of thousands of words per month, which is a crazy amount of word count for the start. And if I need to wait to publish these articles, it will cost me time. So what we did is just like, as soon as we have the article, just share it, just publish it straight away. And that also keeps the website up to date in Google's eyes, if you ask me. So you are sharing all the time some new information. There's always something going on the website. And if someone comes to your website, they also see that we do work on the website. The stuff is different, which leads the users to Google your brand. Also, if you ask me, an SEO boost. So if you can make a brand and people start Googling you, it's a very good signal for the Google. So that's why you should always keep it up to date, and you should always work on it.
Yeah. Would you maybe mind if we quickly run through month 1, month 2, month 3, maybe how many articles you posted, what you were focusing on that month?
Yeah, in terms of like the amount of the articles, I really didn't follow it up. I could quickly go over the sheets and just like check the data, but I think it would cause more time for you. What I can tell is we didn't only have English. We also had Spanish and German languages. So that's why I really didn't follow up with the content. But of course, I had a Google sheet where I was like keeping all of them. And in terms of the traffic, so it was 6-month story for me, and it was a brand new domain. We just launched the website with a theme that I bought for $50 or something like that. And straight away, the main focus of the website was also the content, as I said, the honest information. So in terms of Google, I think that the first earning was in November. By the way, we started in end of August, so September. I'm taking it. It was like 26th of August or something like that. And in September, we had like 50 users actually by Google. There's some people don't take it serious. They are like, how can you rank a website? If you target a keyword that there is no content at all, Google would rank it straight away. So just shout out to your audience from here. Of course, looking at the competitor is good, but if you have an idea that people might be Googling and there is not enough data, you could rank very well straight away from the scratch as you are the only creator. So that was the tactic we used. We had like 50 organic users in the first month already, but it grew. And in November we made the first money, and by January we reached out almost 4,000 organic users on the website in 6 months, and all of them actually, to be honest, we publish like a news article once a week, but the rest of the content we've got was all about money, like the money articles. Mm-hmm. So mm-hmm. that played a huge role for us to make some certain amount of money. For example, in January, we made almost 5,000 euro from the website, which was our 5th month, I guess. And that was the month we had like 4K users. So if you have like a loss of traffic, and if you don't have enough money pages, as I would say, and you're wondering like why your website doesn't make any money, because people are not looking for stuff to buy, and to be honest, of course running a website is good, but I also want to monetize it. So most of the work, 95% of the work that we've done was focusing on money keywords.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned that you had the website in 3 languages, so English, German, and Spanish, right?
Yeah.
Which one of the 3 languages do you think started bringing results the fastest? And I'm guessing the English one was the most monetizable one.
Exactly. The English one. Also, we started, I think, in the 2nd one to translate it. So English content was already published. But I would say the English, because people are in Germany, for example, they also Google in English now. If you have some specific keywords, they don't Google in German, because our audience was like 25 to 30 years old. So young people, and they don't like so much, looking in German articles. They can also read in English. So, yeah. But Spanish also was doing very good, especially the Latin American one, because there is zero competition. If you check out, for example, Peru, Chile, these countries, we had like very fast results as well.
Mm-hmm. And one more thing that I wanted to ask you about earlier when we were discussing this, you mentioned social media and how you kind of started utilizing that. And I watched I listened to a lot of podcasts by Empire Flippers, and they always have this methodology of kind of turning your brand. You need to focus on building a brand instead of just a website. And how you want to utilize as many different channels, because first off, you reduce the risk, but also you open the doors and to actually build a brand, and then you can sell your brand for a much higher multiple. So I was just wondering how you utilized it.
Well, in terms of utilizing it in social media or in general for the brand?
In terms of social media, kind of how you leveraged to bring traffic to it.
So I've been working with an illustrator, which we also use in our agency right now. And I asked her to design some unique content that we can actually publish on social media, something that takes attraction. And I started to edit this content by providing some daily information to the users where they can stay updated. But besides that, we also use YouTube. We use Twitch as well. And the profiles, they were looking very, very professional. Publishing fresh content. And I was always publishing the latest articles, and also dropping comments to the people's social media posts as a brand that actually worked for us. We have a colleague that working with us, so he's managing the social medias, and he can actually getting in touch with people by default, we have been using a tool called Hootsuite. I don't know if you know it, the social media tool, yeah, and just like following the latest keywords and what people are tweeting or what people are posting, and just like contacting them individually. Hey, we heard that you have a problem. Like, here's a solution for free. If you want to check it, check it. If you don't want to check it, don't check it. And we've
Actually,
got a very good feedback.
yeah. I just wanted to say something. So, for example, Gary V, I'm sure you know him. Gary V,
Mm-hmm.
he in his first book, Crush It, it was he mentioned how he grew his dad's wine store by actually replying to people on Twitter asking questions. What's the best wine? What do you think of this wine? And he replied. He went through each tweet and replied to them, and that's how he built the
Yeah.
initial following.
Interesting. I didn't know about this before. Like, I didn't know that he has done that. But yeah, we've done something familiar as well. Because why not?
Yeah. In my opinion, like the hardest thing with social media is just getting the initial numbers. With SEO, it's the same, yeah, but it grows. Versus on social media, you
Well,
get into things like Facebook not displaying your post and other problems.
well, definitely. But when we were working with the product owners, yeah, the businesses that we've been advertising on the website, they have like a massive amount of followers on social media. And we were always like kind of trying to get the deal to include the social media that they will share our review. So this also brought, of course, some traffic
That's genius.
to get
So
to, yeah.
essentially, that's awesome. That's an awesome
Yeah.
strategy, actually. Yeah. So you kind of
Yeah.
try to find these brands that you can review, and if if a brand sees that you posted a positive review of them online, of course, it's only natural that they will share it, and with
Yeah,
that, you kind of
definitely.
leverage it. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, you can get some traffic like that for sure. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's a very good strategy, and I think I personally totally forgot about it. There's so much out there that you can do, so it's very good tip.
Exactly. Exactly. There's so many tips, so many new things. That's why it's very nice to follow up with podcasts, follow up with the industry in general, with the latest blogs, because people share these ideas, and it's up to you to do it or not to do it. But of course, some advertisers, for example, it's all about how your website or your brand is standing out. When they saw the website, even though we didn't have any traffic, it was already like taking some attraction, and they were happy to share it. So if you have like a super basic website, and if you just started, you might be, get rejected by these companies. But if you can, if it's obvious that you are trying to achieve something, the people, the other businesses would like to support you, because at the end they will get money. So definitely.
That makes a ton of sense. And now that I hear everything, I just need to ask, how many of you were in the team? Like, I know that you worked crazy hours when you first started this, but you have the writer, the social media. I'm guessing link building as well was also a big part. How many of you
Yeah.
were working on this?
Well, definitely. So it's a very good question. So we were in the beginning, a friend of mine who was a writer, who is also co-founder of the agency right now. He was literally writing the content, checking the edits, assisting in all of the areas. So it was always changing. One day I am social media, you post, I can't post, and you publish this content, I will do backlink building, and I will just like reach out to this guy. But I had when I started my partner, and he was mostly focused on, so we are actually like 3 guys, but on this website we were 2, because I have a kind of like a content agency, and the website was with another friend, but we actually use the sources of the agency as well. So just to clarify, it might be confusing for some. So in the agency part of the business, I had a friend of mine who is also co-founder of the agency, who is like assisting us with everything. And we had the writer there, we had the translators there, we had the designers there for the illustration, so 3 already, and myself. And in the website business, which we've sold for 105,000 euro, there was just me and my friend and the sources of the company. So the friend of mine, my partner. He was in touch with the sales and marketing in terms of marketing to the product owners, yeah. And me in literally everywhere, link building, keyword researching, monitoring the traffic, the SEO, social media, checking up the quality, reaching out to the people. So when I first started, still I'm working a lot. Still I'm working like maybe 14 hours if you want to put it like as working, just because I really like to work in this industry. It's like playing a video game to me, to be honest. But back then I was also working like crazy hours, 13 hours, 14 hours a day. And right now I'm still working, but I'm just working on multiple websites because right now I have the team that is actually like supporting me. So it was just one website, 13 hours. Right now it's like 4 or 5 websites, 13 hours. So in the beginning, I would say like the main writer, founder of the agency, me and my other partner. So 4, I would say, excluding the translators.
4, yeah. I just wanted to ask that because when someone is browsing through Reddit or a forum or somewhere, it's very easy to get an idea that someone can do this by themselves, and they can. But a lot of work goes into building something so big so quickly. One more question that I was really interested in, I didn't see you mention it in the original post, was link building. How did you go about it? If you could elaborate on that.
Yeah, sure. So link building, actually, I wasn't looking to them as they are links. I was actually looking forward to buy advertisement spot on a website that has a traffic, of course, with a do follow link. But the initial idea was that I want this link to bring traffic to me. Yeah. So I started to check out the competitors, of course, like who is linking to them. And I started to reach out to these webmasters, and we could like support your work, and if you can publish an article about us, you can also put a sponsor tag if you want, or you can like write in the content that it's a paid article. We don't mind, but just like give us a shout out. So this is the way how I'm looking at the backlinks. Yeah. So for you in general, I was also writing in the forums to get some forum links, yeah. But in general, it was, of course, one of the things that we focused a lot, especially if you are building links for 3 languages. You need I never bought links or never published articles in spammy websites. They were real websites with organic traffic who is accepting advertising. So to reach out to these people for 3 languages, it's of course hard work to get all these articles done, make the negotiating part and so on. But I think link building plays a very big role in the SEO, and it should be done very carefully. And if you have the idea of you want to link build, just to link build, it won't work. You need to do the link building that people actually can find you. That was my whole idea when we first started.
And if we quickly touch on the resources, on the actual investment, what would you say percentage-wise was kind of the cost of content compared to links?
Yes, well, content obviously costed very much, but it was also cheaper for us because we had the agency.
The agency,
right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it was an affordable price for us. But in general, so I have it in my notes. So we spent in September, in the end of August, so 4,000 for the website. It's including the hosting, the content, and we didn't do any link building in the first month. And then the rate goes 2,500 euro in October, yeah, which I would say it is 50-50 content and link building. So we could say 1,200 euros, yeah. And in November we spent 3,000 euro. I think it would be 2,000 in the links and 1,000 on the content maybe. In December we only spent 200 euro because it was the month that I wanted to monitor and just let it sit for a while, because back then we already spent almost 9,000 euro in 3 months which actually our initial budget was at 3,000 euro. So it was like 3 times more than the starting budget. So yeah, I would say like 50-50. When you translate, it is costly, and we just translate and we just wait like how is it going with the translation, and then link build. So the main focus for me is always the content first. So I never like buy links to the homepage and just share the content later. So first content, then link building, but it should be also like maybe 50-50.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of the growth percentage, which month was kind of like the most explosive, or we're just like, whoa, was it the 5th or the 6th month before you exited?
December, because of the Christmas.
December. So it's month 5?
Yeah, I think yeah. Yeah, definitely. My month 4 even.
Month
4.5,
4.
5, yeah.
Wow.
4.5,
Wow.
5, yeah. But it is end December. So we've got to literally jump, because like if we check, I'm just checking my notes right now, and in November we only had an income of almost 200 euro, and in December we had 3,600 euro, and in January we made like 4,750 euros. So if you can see, there is like a big jump from November to December, which is, the difference is almost like 3,500 euro for a month. I think it's not bad, but there is an advertising that brand is sponsored to us. So that was one of the reasons that the amount is that big. I think like 1,500 came from the sponsors. So almost 2,000 euro the website was making.
And sponsors would be like banners. I'm guessing you weren't selling links.
Yeah,
banners.
Definitely. Yeah, banners. Yeah. Banners, and we were doing like video content as well. Video content, translating it to banners, generally like advertising them a bit on top positions in the website above the fold. Yeah.
And you didn't have any type of Google Ads, anything like that?
No.
Okay.
We never do.
Okay.
I never do Google Ads because I don't think it's worth it, to be honest.
True.
Yeah.
And you have a very interesting exit story. You mentioned that you didn't really plan on selling the site because
Exactly.
it's very amazing what you've built, and you didn't really want to sell it. But how did the exit go? How did you get the offer? Everything like that?
Yeah. So I put the website on the sale because I was thinking like this website has very big potential, and I'm just interested in getting the offers. And I just put it on a forum, and I didn't write any price, like how much we want, and I just like published the data I have, the Google Analytics and the traffic and the income reports openly. And I told the guys like, we are going to sell this website, we are thinking about it, and if you have any kind of offer, please just like, you can contact us. And I've got a few offers, and I was like, okay, I wouldn't sell it for this price for sure. And then I've got an email first, if they could have the access to the Google Analytics. I said, yeah, okay, you can have an access, no problem, because I want to be transparent as well. And then they checked the website for a few days, and then I just got a call through Skype that they could actually fly to Riga next week to meet me. And it's a media company as well, working in the same industry. And they came over. We had some meetings. We talked about, and the offer was already, it was like in the Skype discussed, 105,000 euro. And how we calculated this was basically that this website from now on, if you check the last 3 months, it's making like 4,000, 5,000 euro, but it's a relatively new website. And most of the income comes from the sponsors. So that's why we can't like take the price to 5,000, which is fair. And we have calculated the value of the website by multiplying the monthly income with the 2 years, 3 years revenue. So we have taken the base as 3,500 euro or something like that, and just like multiplied it. And I just heard in the Skype, and then my partner was in Thailand in vacation. So, I just like asked his opinion if you should sell it, if you shouldn't sell it. and it was hassle for us to decide actually, because like for an hour you don't want to sell it, because like it's always, this website is a very big potential and we've been working on it like a baby to us. In the other hand, it's a very good offer and I can really achieve so many things with this money. I can build my dream website. So when they came, we had a very good conversation, which we have also hired by the guys who bought the website, and we are doing right now the content management, the translation, and the rest of the job. And we decided to sell it then. After the first meeting, he flew back to the Netherlands, and we just stayed over in Riga, and we had like another few weeks to think about. Meanwhile, we are getting the paperwork done. And until the last moment for us, it was always like, let's not sell it. But at the same time, you are saying no to 105,000 euro, and the total investment that we've done to this website would be 9,000 euro, because like we were of course like spending it, but we were also getting it after the third month. So that's why it stopped the investment for us after the third month. So after that, the website started to earn enough to run itself.
Mm-hmm.
So
and are you still working with them today? Because you mentioned you got a very good deal. So you essentially got to sell the site and got a very good exit, and then also got to like manage the site, the content and everything by your agency.
Definitely, exactly. So we've got the content part of the business, and also I'm providing them SEO consultation, how to do the best, what to do the best. Yes, it was also of course an additional income to us to providing this our services, and also I really like to work for that website because it can really come to a very good point in terms of business, and I want it to be successful because also these guys just like paid a lot of money for it, and I will be happy if they can achieve something good.
You don't want to see it run down somewhere.
I don't want to see it run down. Some people maybe would like that actually, but I definitely don't want to see that. So that was the flipping story about it. Right now we are still providing them content and translations, as I said, and it's going very good.
That's awesome.
So hopefully it will be a very good brand soon.
So what are your plans now that you had the exit? How are you deploying the resources? What's next?
What's next? It's a very good question. So right now we've launched a few different websites, but right now I didn't buy a $50 team. I hired a team of developers who is like coding a website for us, which I always wanted to have with specific filters and some features. We have recently made a partnership with a British company that we are launching a website in the American market together. We have my own project, or our own project as a company, in European market as well, in 3 or 4 languages for the start: Spanish, German, and maybe French. Right now working on it. Just recently launched another website. I actually sent you logos if you remember. It will be also in English market and in Turkish market. So right now I think right now we have 4 websites launched, and I'm just waiting for another domain. It will be an expired one. I'm in the auction. So I'm trying, if I can get it, it will be like 5 websites for this year, which is enough for me because I cannot like handle more in different markets, with different languages. So just working right now. But of course, obviously, when we made the sale, it was a big party for us for 2 weeks when we received it. Yeah, when we received it. But right now, business as usual, just expanded the team, of course, and just trying to enjoy the moment when you are more flexible with the budget, because it becomes more fun when you have money to spend, to be honest, on your project. Because if you are trying to do everything your own, which I respect so much, which I was also doing, you can get very tired. But if you have some team that is like assisting you, it's very good feeling. Also, if you can like do what's in your head, it's also very good, because I don't have any kind of, definitely. Definitely.
Cool. Well, Emre, this has been super amazing, a crazy story, really. If before we wrap up, do you have maybe anything else that you'd like to share with the viewers, with the people listening to this? Any advice that you would really give to yourself, maybe a year or two back?
Yeah, definitely. So if you're about to start, it's for sure just start. You should just start and just like see how it goes. But no one should be expecting to be successful because it's also hard. It's a very hard work. You have to work on it constantly. Like you should keep working on it. And if you give up, then you wouldn't get results. So eventually, if you have worked enough, you will be successful. Whether you know SEO, whether you know how to code a website, doesn't matter. If you are trying to be honest and just like share what is honest with the people, you'll be successful because there are billions of ways to rank a website, and it's also hard to be unsuccessful, to be honest, if you are not, if you are making a good job, because I have been working for maybe like 300, 400 websites during these last 4 years, yeah, for different webmasters, for different affiliate companies. And we have followed like different strategies for all of them. And they were going very well, but it was all, different websites with different content, different concepts, and still they've got some traffic. So people can also do it if they work enough, if they try enough, just never days off. That would be the advice that I would give.
Just start, just do, and just work.
Exactly. Just do it and see how it goes.
And for people that want to learn more about you, your business, your company, where can they reach you? Where can they find you?
Yeah, definitely. So they can obviously email me, emre@revkav.com, or our agency's website, revkav.com. Maybe you can also drop my LinkedIn account
For sure.
below as well, or somewhere in the content. Yeah, anyone can reach out to me also just for a conversation, just to show their websites. I love talking about the business. So I could also share my opinions about their websites, and just, we can share some ideas together and just like build a better network and, experiment things together. Besides that, of course, we are providing content and SEO consultation, as I said, also web design right now, and illustrations and logos. So if anyone needs help with it, or if anyone needs a free, just eye, just as a kind of like a third person to have a look at, just like I'm asking you about logos, they can reach out to me, and I would love to share my opinion about how they are doing and how their business is looking like.
Awesome. Okay. All the links will be in the description down below. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Emre. Emre, thank you again for taking the time, for sharing all the knowledge, the story, and everything like that. Thank you for listening and watching the podcast. See you all in the next one.